Natural Park does her voice. Neutral tone, calm and confident. No hype, no excitement. Studio
to the benefit of the people. The oil companies will then pay for the oil they take out. That money will go to a working government, and we will be there during the rebuild. You have to remember, we didn't go in there and destroy all their power plants. We didn't do all that. During the regime of Chavez and Maduro, they turned off water plants in certain cities that still have no water right now. And the population had to move. And we see how far and how wide the Venezuelans went. You went and seen? There's like 2 million of them in Peru. There's 2 million of them in Argentina. These people that were educated went to other Latin countries. So the New York Times was trying to corner the president. But what we saw underneath was strategic leadership about what we're going to do to get Venezuela on its feet and get it rolling forward. But it's an open project that's going to get managed at the State Department level for a little while, including cautioning Americans over the weekend, hey, there are paramilitary groups that are still down there.
That's right.
We cut the head off the snake, but be careful. You may want to pull back a little bit and let it play out.
Yeah, that's right. That was a Guardian story. Here's the president, Rob, if you want to play this clip.
The plan is for them to spend, meaning our giant oil companies will be spending at least $100 billion of their money, not the government's money. They don't need government money. But they need government protection and need government security that when they spend all this money, it's going to be there so they get their money back and make a very nice return. The plan is for them to spend at least $100 billion to rebuild the capacity and the infrastructure necessary. Venezuela has also agreed that the United States will immediately begin refining and selling up to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan crude oil, which will continue indefinitely. We're all set to do it. We have the refining capacity. It was actually based very much on the Venezuelan oil, which is a heavy oil, very good oil, great oil. It's fantastic for certain things like asphalt roads, best there is in the world for asphalt roads and other things. All of the companies here today are going to be treasured partners in bringing the nation of Venezuela back to life, restoring its economy and generating great wealth for their companies and for their people, and also great
Rob, do you have
wealth
the
for the
clip
American.
of the individual saying it's uninvestable? So here's the clip that went viral. That was all over the place. Exxon CEO says Venezuela's uninvestable right now. Go ahead, Rob.
We first got into Venezuela back in 1940s. We've had our assets seized there twice. And so you can imagine to re-enter a third time would require some pretty significant changes from what we've historically seen here and what is currently the state. If we look at the legal and commercial constructs and frameworks in place today in Venezuela, today it's uninvestable.
Yeah, today.
Today it's uninvestable. Yeah, and by the way, twice seized their assets in Venezuela.
Everything.
You're like, yeah, I'm not going to sit there and do that again. I'm going to have to think about it twice so you're ready. So they need to make sure they build infrastructure before guys like him trust to go back and do business in Venezuela.
And Trump said protection, like you said. Protection's huge. And Ted, I can't get over, can you, seeing Trump sit there and just spit out everything that he's doing, the infrastructure, security, everything, comparing him to the last administration, it boggles my mind. The difference between a leader and somebody that was just taking orders and barely. Oh my goodness!
By the way, did you see when Rubio handed him a note?
No, yeah.
And then he says, "Oh well, you'll make a lot of money. You'll make a lot of money." Did you hear what he was saying to the people?
He picks up the note from Rubio and it said, Chevron wants to say something. He wasn't supposed to say it out loud.
Yeah, watch this. Go ahead. Yeah, he's great. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. You'll make it back.
You'll make it
the
back.
other. You're all going to do very well.
He's talking to
I think
Chevron.
you're doing very well. Marco just gave me a note. Go back to Chevron. They want to discuss something. Go ahead. I'm going back to Chevron. Thank you, Marco.
I love he slaps him.
Mark, if you can update us on operations in the ground and with the appropriate approvals,
Susie
what you might
Wiles,
be able
OG
to
in the
achieve
back.
in the next 12 to 18 months, give us a little view from the ground.
You bet, you bet. So today, Chevron has 3,000 employees
Takes the
in
note back.
4
Takes the note and folds it.
in Venezuela today. And over the past 5 to 7 years, they've taken production from about 40,000 barrels a day to 240.
So
funny.
yeah, he is funny. But go ahead, Tom.
No, but there it is. What's Chevron saying? We've got 3,000 people there. We've gone from 40,000 to 240,000. Right now, the capacity for Venezuela is 1.7 to 1.8 million barrels a day. Everybody wants to invest to get up to 5 million barrels a day. And in Houston, on the Gulf Coast, is where we've got refineries that are built for heavy oil refining. Gee, almost like the world's largest supply of heavy oil was just across the water in Venezuela. Do you think they knew that when all this was being built,
Yeah,
Vinny?
weird. Yeah.
Of course they did. And Chevron is there and in place. So Chevron's point that there was, hey, we've got 3,000 people on the ground. You know who helps provide security for them? Chevron.
Weird.
Chevron's got private security down there, and you got 3,000 people, and they've been able to get up to 250,000 barrels a day out of there. So Chevron is politely saying, hey, with a little bit of support, we could do a lot more, and we're already there. Whereas Exxon is like, twice our stuff was seized. Tough to get my board to let us to go back in. We just need assurances. Look, you can see both are correct at the same time, but that's capitalism. Chevron found a way to take the risk, and Exxon got robbed twice, and now they're a little bit more reticent. But guess what? The free market is there. If Chevron wants to triple what they're doing with support, guess what? It's going to happen that way.
Adam.
But 47 has got them all sitting around the table and him saying, who would like to be the ones that come in here and be part of this? So Trump's showing the leadership.
Adam, go for it.
So you know what question I'm starting to ask more often? Whether it's Venezuela, whether it's what's going on in Iran, whether it's going on in Russia, is how does this affect China's attempt to be the number one economy and the number one world superpower? Because all these moves are downstream of how does this affect China? And I got to give a shout out to Glenn Beck, and I'll summarize what he said. He said the following: this, what they did in Venezuela, is the most America first thing move ever. What? Why?
Yep.
Because this isn't isolationism. We're not getting intervening. This isn't intervention. This isn't we're getting involved in everything. This is complete strategy. Why? Because who buys all of Venezuela's oil? China buys up to 70 to 90%. Who does Iran sell 90% of their oil to? China. So what happens if this? Venezuela, no more oil to sell to China. Iran, no more oil to sell to China. They have how many billion people relying on this oil? Almost 2 billion people, whatever they have there. So now they don't have energy, they don't have power, they won't have AI dominance. So United States doesn't need more oil. I don't drive a car, but I see what gas prices are. They're cheaper than I've ever seen. We don't need more oil. We have a ton of oil here. We're preventing China from energizing their economy. So yes, this on the surface doesn't seem like America first, where Glenn Beck basically says this is completely America first because we're preventing China from world domination.
Yeah, the strong chokehold being put on China while this whole thing is taking place is a real thing. They're sitting around. Didn't they just have something that happened between the three of them, Tom? Didn't something happen
just
with
did
Iran?
exercises. They
war
did a
exercises.
And besides,
Yeah, they were doing
Putin
they were doing Navy practice.
Yeah,
and
show of force.
Right, this is it.
and
The three of them. Watch
demonstrating how
this.
small
Go ahead, Rob.
yeah, yeah,
This is a Navy exercise demonstrating how small they are, Tom.
with tugboats, with little baby tugboats.
Yeah, they're out there doing this naval exercise, and you compare it to the might of the 7th Fleet, and you're like, okay, so you're saying you're aligned and you're doing this little naval exercise. Okay, that's real. Those are real ships, real bombs, real cruise missiles, real, electronic class cruisers. We get it, but come on, guys, you're doing this right now.
Yep.
But
Seriously?
But if you
Pat,
think
can
about
can I
it,
say one thing?
Yep.
One extra thing. You know how you said, Pat, who did you say had the best week ever, best month ever?
Delta.
You know who might have had the worst month ever? China. Do you know what will happen in China if Venezuela Iran basically crumble? You know, everything that they're working on with BRICS, follow the money, right? What's going to happen with BRICS basically dissipates? You know, the whole petrodollar, and they're trying to basically deviate from the dollar being the world's reserve currency. This is completely the worst month China might have ever had indirectly because of Trump's decision.
But if you think about it, though, let's not fall asleep. It's us against China, Russia, and Iran. So let's not, by the way, because the last time Trump was against China and put all the trade, all the tariffs and everything, a little virus called COVID just happened to slip out and decimated the world. Now that you have three of these people, I'm not trying to pump fear. Let's just know, though, who else is our ally? In this situation, it's America. We're by ourselves, and it's Russia, China, and Iran. And I mean, North Korea, Putin just met the other day with Kim Jong-un. I saw him coming off a plane. And
why do you say we're by ourselves?
Who else is gonna take our side? That's at that magnitude, Adam. Russia, China, and Iran with a little sprinkle of North Korea. It's us.
I've actually thought about this. And
I'm not saying we're scared. I'm saying we have the most nukes. And
America, luckily, has allies. And we might have little issues with Canada, with the UK, with France, with Australia. But at the end of the day, like if you look at the top 10 GDPs, top 50 GDPs in the world, with the exception of 3 to 5 of them, 90% of the top countries in the world are aligned with the U.S. Now, Trump challenges them. NATO, you're going to make you pay. What's going on with the wokeness? I get it. But at the end of the day, it's the world versus these Axis powers fighting for hegemony.
But we're talking about two of the biggest nuclear powers on the planet, and it's Russia and it's China. Do not get it twisted, though. I worked at a nuclear missile base. We got the nukes. Like, you know, Arby's, we got the meat. We have the nukes, but what I'm saying is, though, that them playing in the water isn't like a little game. That's them saying, hey, listen, this is us. We don't like what you're doing, which I don't give it. We're still going to do what we're going to do, but that's just something to you know.
Vinny, I just
Look,
got
they're responding to leadership.
I got up very hungry after that comment.
They are responding.
Yeah.
We can move on, but they're responding to leadership. And OPEC's remote member is Venezuela.
Yep.
It is effectively about to become under U.S. influence and control, which means that one comes out. So drill, baby, drill, plus Venezuela, plus the Panama Canal. You know who OPEC is now? We are.
Yeah.
Let me read this story. So U.S. used sonic weapon on Venezuelan troops. Reports shared by Levitt claims. By the way, this is not like Caroline Levitt retweeted this, Rob. I don't know if you have it or not. Do you have the clip on the bottom to play as well or no, Rob?
I do.
Or is it
It's
just the
a
image?
tweet, but this is the entire tweet. I'll zoom in.
Okay, can you zoom in, please, so we can read this? So this account from a Venezuelan security guard loyal to Nicolas Maduro is absolutely chilling, and it explains a lot about why the tone across Latin America suddenly changed. Security guard, on the afternoon, on the day of the operation, we didn't hear anything come in. We were on guard, but suddenly all our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones flying over our positions. We didn't know how to react. So what happened next? How was the main attack?